Here. Okay, there we go. Got the option to go live. So here we go. Chapter 3. So this is my book, The Art of Grooming, a philosophical approach to dog grooming. And today I'll be reading chapter 3. La 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 la. No, I'm kidding. Just want to make sure my vocals are working properly so that it will be enjoyable at least to listen. So here we go. Crystal LaCroix, wow, you're first. Hello, Crystal. Probably the only person that's going to join tonight, so I'll be reading this just for you, Crystal. Okay, so here we go. Enough fooling around. Oh, actually, before I start, let me take one more sip of coffee here. Oh man, let the anticipation build, you know? Let the anticipation build. All for nothing, I guess. No, it won't be for nothing. This is actually probably one of my favorite chapters. The chapter I've had the most fun writing about because it's about something that I have a lot of interest in and it fascinates me. So here we go. Chapter 3, The Importance of Body Language, Energy. By learning to communicate with our thoughts and our body language, we are showing our dogs that we are trying to speak to them in their own language. If one of my mother's clients suddenly tried to speak to her in Korean, she would be impressed regardless of proper grammar or pronunciation. Just the fact that they were trying would touch her. That is the way our dogs feel when we stop speaking to them and start communicating with them. Whether we know it or not, we are constantly communicating with our dogs. They are masters at reading our body language and picking up our energy. Einstein said, "Everything is energy." Everything we see is actually a collection and combination of molecules vibrating in a certain way to make up what we see. We are all made up of molecules that are made up of atoms. When we begin to go into the subatomic level and zoom into the very furthest possible level, there is nothing. This, quote, nothing is something, and the Chinese call it qi. Many cultures in Asia are very familiar with the concept of qi, the life force that is in every living thing. Bob Proctor said, "Whether you look through the lens of a microscope or a telescope, the view is equally breathtaking." When we understand that our thoughts are connected to our emotions that give off energy that radiates through our bodies, it helps us to become more aware of our thoughts and feelings. This is a quote, "If you are ever unsure of how you're feeling, just look at your dogs. They mirror your energy." End quotes. That's Cesar Millan. By communicating our intentions effectively, we will create a calm environment for the dogs to relax in. This will eliminate the majority of accidental injuries that can happen during a groom. From the moment a dog sees us, she is reading our energy, our body language, and the scent we carry. And just to go off the script a little bit, did you know that we literally give off a different scent? We smell different when we're feeling angry or stressed or scared. The hormonal changes in our bodies, the dogs can literally smell the difference. Isn't that amazing? They can even smell cancer cells inside of us. Incredible. The best way to get her comfortable with us and trust us is to be calm and centered. Do not baby talk or get all excited. This is not the time for that. I've seen many groomers and owners go into an excited, high-pitched baby talk mode and overwhelm the dog. They need to know that this is not playtime. That comes after the groom as a reward. Every activity has its proper time and place. We wouldn't expect a nurse taking our blood pressure to scream "Uno" into our ear because it would not be the right time for that. She needs us to stay calm and still so she can help us. In order to be calm while we groom the dogs, they must trust us, and a bond must be formed. We should always stay in the moment and focused on what we're doing. Most accidents happen when we look away for a moment. Just a moment. Even if someone tries to talk to us, we should not turn our attention away from the dog. It may seem rude to them, but just explain that you are totally zoned in with your dog at the moment and you cannot sever the bond. They will most likely think you have temporarily lost your mind and will leave you alone for the time being. The best way to establish a bond and create a relationship is by walking together. Fish swim, birds fly, dogs walk. Cesar Millan. Dogs have to walk together as a pack in order to form strong bonds. To them, it is like having a long conversation. Like any friendship, the more shared experiences and activities you have together, the stronger the bond becomes. When walking with the dog, I recommend practicing Caesar's way, calm, assertive energy. Walk confidently, and do not let the dog pull or dart in every direction. We want them by our side or slightly behind us in order to keep them focused on the activity of walking. This sets the stage for a smooth grooming session. This will put us in a leadership role in the dog's mind because we are leading him during the walk. We want him to relieve himself during the walk, but let it be on our terms, not his. In accomplishing an effective walk, we gain his trust and respect while also making sure he is comfortable during the grooming session. Many times, dogs are uncooperative simply because they have to go potty. While walking, practice the visualization and breathing techniques described in the previous chapter. This is the perfect time for it. It will help you get in tune with nature and form a connection, a bond, with the dog you're about to groom. Think of the movie Avatar when he rides the horse or flies the dragons. He connects with them with his hair so they can get in tune with each other. When we take the time to form a bond with the dog, we earn the right to groom them. This is a respectful way for us to ask for permission from them. While enjoying our walk, we should try to be silent and aware of the moment. Try not to speak to him while walking together. Just enjoy the bonding experience and be aware of every moment. Visualize and think positive thoughts as if he can read your mind. This is truer than you would think. When I need a dog to stand still or stand up from a sitting position, I usually ask by gently touching and projecting a thought. I ask with my mind. I call it Jedi grooming. For those who are not familiar with Star Wars, a Jedi is a sci-fi version of a Shaolin monk. Instead of Chi, in Star Wars, it is called the Force. There is a dark side to the Force, and those who practice it are called Siths. Dog groomers who are nervous, anxious, fearful, worried, or have any negative thoughts or emotions must make a conscious effort to become more calm and relaxed. Confident and firm when necessary, but never forceful, or they run the risk of becoming a Sith groomer. If you watch Star Wars, one thing you will notice about Jedis is that they are peaceful and rely on the power of their minds rather than physical strength. They use the Force to help and protect, and if they do use it against their enemies, it is only to push them. Siths use the Force to control and dominate. They physically harm people by electrocuting them or choking them. Jedi groomers use the power of their minds and calm, assertive energy to make suggestions that are helping the dog. Sith groomers yell and use physical force to control and restrain a dog. They cause harm to the dogs while grooming them because they cannot control their own thoughts and emotions. Quote, "Be mindful of your thoughts," end quote, the Jedi would say. I like to think of myself as a Jedi when it comes to grooming because I rely on the power of intention and positive visualization. Our bodies emit an electromagnetic field around us that can actually be measured by scientists using medical devices that are available today. While I was listening to Jack Canfield, the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, and he was saying that our thoughts produce electrical frequencies that can be measured outside of our bodies. Our emotions produce an even stronger electromagnetic pulse that resonates through our bodies and even change our physical state. When we feel anger, our heart rate and blood pressure go up. When we feel gratitude and love, our bodies begin healing itself and we emit positive energy all around us. Always be in the state of gratitude and love. which will help you to be calm and assertive, as Cesar Millan teaches. Once you have mastered your own thoughts and emotions, your grooming sessions will always be a pleasant experience for both you and your dog. In an article in the Groomer to Groomer magazine published by Barclay Productions, Inc., in the October issue of 2013, titled Golden Heroes by Kathy Salzberg, there is mention of this electromagnetic field. The article was written about an Army veteran named David R. Cantara, who rescues and trains golden retrievers to help war veterans who suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. This is a quote from that article. Golden retrievers are David's breed of choice for this work because of their calm nature, trainability, and physical strength. In addition, these dogs have been proven to be highly susceptible to the biowaves or vibrations that emanate from a person, picking up on anxiety buildup and thus forewarning a panic attack. As these dogs support their owners, they do everything from alleviating anxiety with a gentle nudge to interrupting nightmares, turning on lights, and searching the house for intruders. End quote. Dogs have such a way of connecting with us that they can pick up on our biowaves. We cannot underestimate the connection an owner has with their dog. I've heard before that groomers can be rough with dogs if we need to because the owners will never know. I disagree. I believe that the owners are just too nice or uncomfortable to say anything, but they know when something's not right. When we treat them with love and respect, they will respond to us in kind. Many times we feel anxiety or frustration as a result of challenging circumstances or a very unruly dog. We must choose to be calm and remember that we do not have to fall prey to our doubts and fears. We are artists. We have greatness inside of us. I often wonder how differently horses would act towards their predators if they only realized how massive and powerful they really are. I was having this conversation with a taxi driver one night, and he pointed out to me that they can't think that way because they are prey animals. There was a silence for a moment before I asked him, what if we have unlimited potential inside of us, but we live in fear like prey animals do, simply because we can't think differently? What if all we have to do is change our minds and see ourselves differently in order to live fearlessly? We are not horses. We are not prey. As dog groomers, we are fearless and courageous. We do what many others do not do, in spite of any pain or fear or anxiety we may have. We do it because we love them, and love cannot be physically expressed without us. Keep these intentions and thoughts in your mind, and they will be projected out as energy that the dog will be able to understand through your body language. And the next chapter is going to be chapter 4, the language of touch therapy, and pressure points. But I just really wanted to emphasize this one key point that yes, sometimes as dog groomers, we do feel fear and anxiety, especially when a dog is being aggressive or showing aggression during the groom, because nobody likes to get bit. It is scary. But we do it because we love them, and love cannot physically express itself without us. I remember this one line in a really old TV show called Touched by an Angel. The doctor told the parents, sometimes God does his best work through human hands, right? It's almost like God needs us. He needs our hands. He needs our heart. He needs our mind. He needs us in order to express the love that is the most powerful force in the universe. And as dog groomers, I feel like we're so lucky to be able to be the one who channels this force, this energy of love in order to help our dogs feel and look their best. Let's see. Crystal LaCroix, that's crazy. I'm not sure what she would say that's crazy about, but hey Pauline, how are you? Crystal says, I always thought it was crazy when my dog jump up and come to me as soon as I thought it was time to take him out, almost as if he was psychic. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of times when we feel like, did my dog just read my mind? It's truer than we actually think. And they didn't really read your thoughts, but they're picking up on changes in your physical state, in your body, your bio waves, the vibrations emanating from our bodies. They literally pick up on the changes. They're very sensitive to this, and yeah, and so that's why when we're grooming dogs, it's so important to breathe and be calm and center ourselves. The dog I was grooming today earlier, Sebastian, he's just always been this way, and the owners know this. And I wish he enjoyed the grooming a little bit more, but he just doesn't. And he's very vocal. He's very vocal, and he and barks right in my ear. Sometimes he looks right at me and just starts barking right at me, like looking me right in the eyes. And I just tell him, I'm sorry, Sebastian. I'm sorry, buddy. Well, we got to do this. I was like, it's hard work looking as handsome as you are. It doesn't come easy. There's a price to pay. But I remember before it would give me some anxiety, and I would be worried that the owners might think that I'm mistreating their dog, like, oh, what are the people gonna think, and things like that. But I just breathe, and I just remind myself, this is just how it is. This is just how he feels, and he's just expressing to me that he doesn't like being brushed or combed, but I don't always enjoy brushing my teeth or taking a shower either, But these are just things we have to do. It's hygiene. It's for our health, right? And so I just tell him, I'm really sorry, buddy. Let's just get this over with. But yeah, I just remind myself, even when it comes with aggressive dogs. I did a couple of Great Pyrenees on this past Sunday, and both of them growled at me, and one of them showed me his teeth, and yeah, I just had to breathe and calm myself down. I just told him, it's all right, buddy. You don't have to, you don't have to get upset. It's all right. I'm sorry. And I have no problem apologizing to a dog, especially if I know that what I'm doing is making him feel uncomfortable. I want the dog to know that I'm respectful of his feelings, that I understand. I hear you. I understand. And a lot of times, even humans, we don't always have to get what we want or what we're asking for. As long as we feel understood, as long as we feel like the person hears us and they understood what we're asking for. Even if we can't get it, as long as we feel understood, and we feel that our request was at least heard and respected, then yeah, it's usually okay. And it's really about choosing to be the Jedi groomer, calm and peaceful, rather than the Sith groomer and forceful and choke and yell and get angry. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. Like the Yoda. I do a very bad Yoda impression, but anyways, yeah, just keep that in mind. Do you want to be a Jedi groomer, or do you want to be a Sith groomer? And would you like to cause pain and suffering, or promote healing and peace? CD, I can't wait for my books to come. You explain things so beautifully. Thank you for walking us through your book. Oh, you're welcome, CD. I can't. It's free, You don't have to order the book. I mean, just go on my website, JuneTheGroomer.com. There's an article that I put. Download both my books for free, and just click that Google Drive, and you can download the PDF copy of the ebook. You don't have to order a CD, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you do, once you get it, if you're like, just let me know. I'll say the reason why I put such a low price point. No, I'm just kidding. Crystal says, I love grooming because I just get into this calm zone, and it's so relaxing, almost in a meditative state. That helps keep the dog calm too. Exactly. And I mentioned in chapter 3 how I notice sometimes when the dog is acting up, and the groomer is starting to feel that anxiety as well, maybe frustration. They go into this baby talk. Oh, it's okay. Oh, look at him, and it's like you're overwhelming the dog, and rather than react to what the dog is doing and get into that high pitched baby talk voice, It's better to, like Crystal's saying, more a meditative state, calm, just breathe. You know, imagine if we went to a salon to get our hair done, right? And we're there and they're massaging and we're trying to just relax and enjoy, and they're just talking our ear off. And how was your day? How are your kids? It's like, God, can I just relax? You know, you kind of ruin the whole spa experience, right? It should be calm, soothing, meditative, you know. But if you have like that weird lady, you know, with the beehive hair and thick glasses, and she's just talking like this and just, you know, and just keeps asking you questions. It's like, I'm never coming back to this. I'm never coming back here again. You know, that's probably how you would feel. And same thing, I think, with the dogs. You know, it's better to give them a calm, relaxing experience and breathe with them. You know, just help set the tone by our breathing. And I talked about how our heartbeat, boom, 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 boom. The calm heartbeat sets the tone for that relaxing experience. But just like a loud neighbor next door that just beats on the drums and bangs, if our heartbeat is boom, 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 it's hard for the dog to relax, right? So we have to set the tone. Breathe, be calm, and think loving, healing thoughts and gratitude. Feel grateful for this moment, for this experience, that you are the one that gets to show this dog love, that literally you are the channel of love to flow through to this dog. And for that, I feel so grateful. When we think these thoughts and we're feeling grateful and we're feeling love for the dog, even no matter how they're acting, no matter what they're doing, we feel grateful to be able to have this experience and this opportunity to help this dog feel better. It's impossible to feel negative or you know, get in any kind of negative state. And when we do that, the grooming experience literally becomes a healing experience, both for me, both for the groomer and the dog. Let's see. Crystal says, I don't understand why someone would want to be rough with the dog, especially since the dog can come back and bite you, literally. Well, and also when the dog bites, sometimes it is easy to get angry. And I'm not trying to judge anyone for getting rough with the dog. It is easy to get frustrated, especially if you're backed up and you have other dogs waiting. And the dog's just taking longer than you wanted it to take, and he's not cooperating and things like that. It's easy to feel frustrated, but rather than push through, it's better to just calm, reset, maybe put the dog, up, give the dog a break, and that way you get a break from that as well. And then work on another dog if there's other dogs waiting. Work on the next dog, and then come back to that dog, or just go out for a short walk with them, just so the dog can reset as well and have a different experience with you. Instead of fighting and becoming this big battle on the table and an unpleasant experience for the dog, just take a break. Maybe take them outside for a quick walk, get a drink of water, just breathe and reset, and then put the dog back on the table and then proceed, more calmly. Crystal says, I've seen some groomers who are so stung out and blame the dog for being reactive, then muzzle them just so they can fly through the groom. I've seen it too. And that's why I say that we groomers who start feeling that frustration and anger sometimes, we really need to catch ourselves and become aware and make a conscious effort, make a decision, choose to be calm and more relaxed. Because if we allow ourselves to be taken over by anxiety or frustration or anger, we literally become Sith groomers. And instead of providing a healing, peaceful, loving, positive experience for the dogs, we're giving them a very bad experience that they will remember. And the next time they come in, it'll probably get even harder and worse. They're probably going to behave even worse than that. And when the owners pick them up, even the owners have such a close and tight connection, such a strong bond with their dogs that a lot of times the owners, we think that they won't know, but they know something was up, especially when their dogs are trembling and shaking and not acting themselves. When they go back home, their dogs literally act sad. They kind of go in a corner and they act depressed, you know. Then they know something was up, you know, and that's when. And usually most people won't call and ask, did you do something? Did something happen? Because, you know, they have no proof. What are they gonna say? You know, and it just makes an uncomfortable situation. So that's when they start looking for other groomers. They start calling around, looking for somewhere else to take their dog. But the thing is, the next groomer they take them to, they have their work cut out for them now, because this dog now carries this experience, this negative association with what grooming is. And so they're going to have to find a groomer who is willing to take their time to form their own unique bond, their own unique relationship with this dog, and, you know, form that rapport, build that rapport with the dog, and kind of start all over. And for me, my biggest goal in sharing my books, sharing my ideas, my intention is to try to change how we look at what dog grooming is. Change the perception. Dog grooming is not just some fun, happy experience, rainbows and butterflies, where a dog just gets washed up and lathered with shampoo and bubbles everywhere, and then we dry them up and they just dry so easily, and we just do a nice haircut while we're singing and whistling, and there's, you know, animals coming out of the forest, you know, singing and dancing with us. That's not what grooming is. And also, grooming is not just some easy thing on your checklist of things to do. Oh, drop my dogs off at the groomer. Check. Done. You know, that's not what grooming is. Grooming is a lifestyle. Grooming is hygiene. Grooming is taking care of the dog's physical needs so that he's healthy. And health is beauty. When a dog is feeling good, they look good and they act happy. And when the dog comes in to be groomed, a lot has to happen before we actually bathe the dog. And once the dog is in the tub, you're all in. I mean, there's no turning back at that point, because once you get the soap all over them, you have to get it all rinsed off thoroughly. You can't leave soap residue on their skin, or else it's going to cause irritation and they're going to get hot spots, or, you know, start itching it. And so it has to be done thoroughly, conscientiously, you know. And then drying them, even. We have to dry them all the way. They can't just sit there damp, because when they sit there damp, think of wet rags, you know. Now they're going to start to stink and smell, and, you know, it irritates their skin. So you have to dry them completely. Make sure they're fully dry. And then once they're totally dry, then you got to brush them out again and do a haircut, you know. And so grooming is not, there's nothing about grooming a dog that should be quick and fast. Grooming is not something that should be done within a certain time limit, in my opinion. You know, oh, I dropped my dog off at 9 a.m. so I should be ready. I should be willing. You know, they should be ready to be picked up at 11. Right? 2 hours is enough time to groom a dog. No. You drop your dog off at 9 a.m. You could be picking them up at 5 p.m. You know, why? Because sometimes they need breaks. Sometimes they, you know, we don't want to push them through something that's causing them stress and fear, you know, and they're scared. And we don't want to create a bad experience for them. And also to wash them thoroughly, get them completely rinsed out. Shampoo has to sit for 5-10 minutes. Conditioner has to sit for 5-10 minutes. To rinse them off completely takes time. To dry them completely, so they're completely dry all the way. I mean, I'm talking crisp dry, you know, not they're not still damp, you know, like down under in the undercoat where the skin is. They're not wet there. They're completely dry. That takes time. That takes a lot of effort. And then to brush them out and do a haircut on a moving dog, a moving animal, that takes time as well. And you have to be careful. You don't want to rush it, because when you rush it, that's when accidents happen. You can accidentally cut or nick a dog. So there, in my opinion, there's nothing about grooming a dog that should be quick and easy or fast. Nothing. I really hope that this connects with some dog owners who may feel frustrated sometimes because they wonder why it takes all day at the groomers. You know, they imagine the worst. They think their dog is just left in a cage somewhere all day long and no one's paying any attention to them. You know, that's not what's happening. Dog grooming takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of focused and attention to what's going on. And sometimes your dog needs a break, especially if they're nervous, you know? And so give your groomers that time. Let it be a calm, peaceful, relaxing experience, because when you rush your groomers, now your groomers feel rushed, and then that transfers onto the dog, and the dog starts to feel nervous. So it's a trickle down effect. So if the dog owner feels nervous and they rush the groomer, now the groomer feels nervous, now the dog feels nervous, and now it's a bad situation for everyone. So when you drop your dog off to a groomer, if you are a dog owner, when you drop your dog off to the groomer, picture nice thoughts. Imagine, see the groomer as a good friend who just happens to know how to give your dog a nice haircut, you know? Because you already share a common interest. You love animals. Not just any animal, you love dogs. Not just any dog, you both love your dog, right? So there's a very there's already something you have in common. You both love your dog. So think of your groomer as a friend, a close, trusted friend that you're, trusting your dog with, and give them the time that they need to do a good job for you, for your dog. And when you give your the groomer the trust they need, they feel appreciated. Your groomer feels appreciated and valued. Now they're loving their job. Now they really feel happy while they're grooming your dog. And that transfers onto your dog as well. Now your dog is feeling happy, appreciated, cared for, right? So a lot of times, this is to dog owners. When you're dropping your dog off to a grooming shop, to a groomer, and you feel like no matter where you take them, you've been to several shops already, and you always have a bad experience, maybe the problem is you. And I'm not saying that there aren't bad shops out there. There aren't bad groomers out there, like Crystal pointed out, and I've seen it too. There are some rough groomers, who, in my opinion, probably shouldn't be grooming. Really, they're Sith groomers, and so I acknowledge that. But if you're going from shop to shop and you've already tried maybe 3, maybe 5 shops in your area, they can't all be bad, So if you're having a bad experience at every shop you take your dog to, maybe it's the way you're treating the groomers. Maybe it's the way you're looking at what grooming should be. You're thinking that grooming should be quick and fast and easy, and you can't understand why you can't pick your dog up in a couple of hours after you drop them off, and you start getting angry and upset, and you start calling the groomer, and they can feel your energy. They can feel how upset you are. Now the groomer feels unappreciated. They feel unvalued, misunderstood. They feel anxious. They feel this anxiety, this nervousness now because they know that you're upset. And now when they try to rush the job and groom your dog as quickly as possible, feeling nervous and anxious, your dog is going to feel that. And then they're going to be like moving around and uncooperative. They just want to get out of they just want to get out of there now because they're scared. They don't know why this groomer's feeling like this. So, my biggest hope and my greatest intention is to try to change the way we look at what dog grooming is. And that's why this is the art of grooming, a philosophical approach, not a how-to, but a why. Why are we grooming our dogs? Because ultimately we want them to feel their best and look their best, right? So I want to change the way we view what dog grooming is, change the public perception of what dog grooming is. And like Dr. Wayne Dyer says, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. Let's see here. Crystal says, it's sad when groomers say that they can treat the dogs however just because they can get away with it. Yeah. The first time I heard that, I looked the guy right in his eyes and I told him, you're wrong. I was like, that's not right. I even told him, even if somebody who kicks their dog, even someone who has like a country dog out in the backyard and they go out and kick their dog every morning, they still don't want someone else to come and kick their dog, you know? And these people are paying you, you know? They're not paying you to hit their dog, you know? I looked him right in the eye. I was like, you're wrong. Crystal says, I was asked why I won't take a regular in and out grooming place, and it's because I don't want to be that kind of groomer, flying through 30 dogs a day for the money. Exactly. Grooming place job. Crystal says, I keep getting told that I need to learn to groom faster so I can do more dogs for more money. It's a little frustrating because they just don't understand my why. And I'm so happy to hear that you're so clear on your why. You know, like Simon Sinek says, you got to start with why. Be clear on why you're doing what you're doing. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And what you do simply reflects what you believe. And you believe in taking your time and doing the best for the dog in front of you, making a big impact on just a few, right? Making a big difference in this one dog's life rather than, you know, doing something meaningless that people don't really care about, you know, and you're just doing it for the paycheck. And it's so unfulfilling. At the end of the day, you feel so run down and tired and burnt out. It's all hard work. But Simon Sinek says working hard for something you really care about is called passion. Working hard for something you don't really care about is called stress. And stress kills. Bargil, hey June, random question. Are you Korean? Yeah, wow, how did you know? Hit the nail right on the head. A lot of people ask if I'm Filipino or Japanese. I get that a lot. Are you Japanese? I'm like, no, you know, I'm going for the samurai look, but no, it's inspired by Japanese. But yeah, I'm Korean. That's awesome. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. That was chapter 3. I will go ahead and read chapter 4. Tomorrow I got a really busy day, and then Saturday I got a really busy day. Sunday I got a standard poodle, and then Monday I got a pretty busy day on Monday as well. I got Bijans, so I'm not sure when I'll be able to stream again, but hopefully not too much time will pass before I get to chapter 4, and that way we can go ahead and try to get through all 8 chapters, hopefully by the end of the month. Bargil says, I'm Asian too, that's how I can tell. Oh, nice, awesome. Yeah, Asians you can usually tell a little bit better, right? But actually I'm pretty bad at that. I'm like, are you, especially when it comes to like the Vietnamese, Laos, you know, Thai, it's like, oh, are you Vietnamese? You know, are you Laos? You know, but anyways, yeah. But I can usually tell between Japanese and Chinese, or even Filipino. Filipinos have like a but you know, hey, a lot of people say that I look Filipino. So anyways, I don't know. Before we get into a racist discussion, let me go ahead and end this stream. Thank you all so much for watching this. I really appreciate your time and attention. I hope the ideas that I shared are helpful to you, whether you're a groomer or a dog owner. You know, the thing is, if you own a dog, you are a dog groomer. You may not be a hairstylist, but you are a dog groomer, because checking their teeth, brushing their teeth, clipping their nails, getting the goop out of their eyes, brushing them, this is all grooming. So if you own a dog, consider yourself a dog groomer. All right. Thank you all so much. And I got to end it with the line I love the most. I honor the light in you that's also in me. Namaste.